Loading.
There we go.
Okay. Okay, I
Live.
guess we're going live now.
Yeah, right.
All right. So, I just want to say welcome to everybody who's going to be joining in right now or going to be watching this later. I'll just say a little bit about myself and then I'll let Agnel also introduce himself just a little bit. So, I'm doing this for the first time. Never did a live on, StreamYard and YouTube. So we're kind of experimenting, but I still wanted to have a conversations with Agnel because he had mentioned his journey, how he just became debt free at such a young age. And I thought that was very inspiring. And I reached out to him and I said, I would love to share this with my community. Whoever, watches and tunes in can always reach out to you. We'll leave his link to his channel and his Instagram in one of our comments, and we'll pin it when that time comes. But basically, long story short, Agnel was on this very popular show called Pop the Balloon or Find Love. And he had a very interesting experience that I guess did go viral, right? Like,
I, I guess you could say it went viral. There's a lot of clips of everybody on the show, but yeah, I guess you could say it went viral.
yeah. And so he did another episode with the producers and the host. And I think what caught my attention was him talking about how he kind of disappeared for a little bit to make sure he was debt free. And I thought that was really responsible of him to do that. And I thought that was also very inspiring. So I remember commenting on one of his posts saying, "Hey, I noticed you did this whole debt free thing. How did you get there? What would you recommend if there's, ever an opportunity we can work together? I would love to chat with you about it." I mean, I've seen your videos and your journeys, you talking about it. So it's
Hmm.
already there, but just some specific questions that I
For
have.
sure.
I wanted to talk, through this avenue, but I will let people you could just tell us, just I guess something we don't know is like, I would like to know like your background, like as far as like culturally, like what is your ethnic background, where were you born and raised, and like how were you taught finances and stuff growing up? Like, did you kind of see your mom take it over, or your siblings, or your dad, or whoever taught you what you know today? Like,
Hmm. Good
if
question.
whatever you're comfortable with.
No, yeah. Listen. I'm an open book, so I'm willing to share whatever and anything that I know. So to start off, my name is Agnel Etienne. I'm 29 years old. I was born and raised in New Jersey, in the United States, Elizabeth, New Jersey, to be exact. Moved around a whole bunch of different areas in New Jersey, and I currently live in Flagstaff, Arizona. So my parents are from Haiti, the country Haiti, and I think they got here in the 80s, and then hit the ground running and everything. So, could you repeat that question? My brain's not working very
Yes,
well right
you
now.
said Haiti. So when you say Haiti, I have to ask this question.
Hmm.
Are you familiar with Jessie Woo?
Yes, yes, yes.
Are you
That's
are you a
just.
fan? I'm a huge fan.
I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but like
And I
she's
kind of guessed
Haitian.
that. I kind of guess you weren't a fan, and
You know what I
only
mean?
because this. Okay, you can go ahead. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I mean it's not like I hate her or anything like that. I just know that she's famous and she's Haitian, and that's cool. And that's where I'll leave that at.
That's
It's
super cool. And
yeah.
I knew you were gonna say what you were gonna say because I did watch your entire video, and you did mention like Kevin Samuels, right?
Right.
And I know a lot of women aren't, especially like Jessie Woo is definitely not a fan.
Hmm.
I like obviously rest in peace. Like I
Hmm.
have listened to him. I mean, he's obviously super popular, and it is kind of tough. It is a little tough for the women, like his delivery, at least,
Hmm.
because especially for us plus size girls, he's very, very.
He's brutal.
Yeah, and so
He's
like with
brutal.
the girls, we're a little sensitive,
Correct. He's brutally honest. And that's the best way you can put it. So that's why I appreciated his content. He was brutally honest, and it wasn't just on women, it was on men too. That's what people need to realize, is that he started off with critiquing men, and he would go just as hard, if not harder, on the men.
Wow.
But the only
Wow.
problem is that the only difference I would say is the men would just sit there, listen, and take it. And then there was a few that got really, really upset about what he had to say, and he kicked them off. And then it's the same thing for the women. It was the same exact thing. But I think women got more upset at him than the men did. So,
Right.
but yeah,
Because,
he's part of the whole reason why I started getting my whole life together. You know what I mean? So it's
wow.
yeah, there's a whole bunch of people I used to watch on YouTube and stuff, digged into their content and stuff. Cause going back to your original question, who taught me finances and stuff? Um,
It was
my
Dave
parents,
Ramsey, right? Or you
yeah,
said?
Dave Ramsey was the catalyst, but my parents, they split up when I was younger, and money was really, really tight growing up, living with my mother. And they kind of taught me what not to do with money, because I kind of seen the trajectory of how things were going in the household and stuff. And, my mom telling me to turn off the lights when we're not using them to save money on the electric bill, all these little things that I kind of paid attention to as I was growing up. And, seeing how we struggled with money and stuff. And I knew that, like, especially once I got into college and started studying dental hygiene, I'm like, I need to come up with a good game plan for all this money that I'm going to be making. It literally going from $0 to making, X amount of money every year. And I needed to know how to handle it. You know what I mean? What to do with it, so that way I can live comfortably and have my money work for me and
Mhm.
expand and last pretty much my whole life. So that's when I kind of digged into the Dave Ramsey stuff. Shout out to my cousin Tanya for putting me on, and she exposed me to Dave Ramsey. And ever since then I got his book. This was probably back in 2015, 2016. I read his
Mhm.
book, The Total Money Makeover, and that's when things started. That's when the whole debt-free journey thing started. As soon as I started working as a hygienist, I had the money coming in. I started doing the budget. I figured out how much money I owed in debt, and I hit the ground running, started putting every single last dollar into my student loans, and then started driving for Uber and Lyft, using that money to fuel the whole process of getting out of debt and stuff. So it was a grueling 7 years, but we're at a much, much better place. And honestly, it's money, but like, that whole debt-free process helped me become a better person in general. Those habits kind of spread into my mental well-being, my physical well-being.
Absolutely. It's like
It just
discipline.
Yeah,
It goes back
exactly.
to, discipline, like they say, like discipline is one of like the strongest forms of self-love, it's like
Exactly.
if you love yourself, you're watching where every penny goes, and every ounce of food that you're, consuming,
Mhm.
and I think that it as like, I mean, obviously I'm following your journey now and all the other things that you do on the side,
Right.
and it all kind of, it's like it's all wholesome, and it's like it's it affects everything, money
It
affects
does.
everything, your emotional, mental. Would you say that, like, for women and men, would you recommend them to, like, not date until they have like a certain credit score and like they're debt free?
Oh, that's a good question. Um,
Because you did that, like, you were like, you didn't date because you were like so focused.
yeah, I mean, it depends on how serious you want to get out of debt and get your finances in order.
Mhm.
Um, I because number one, like, me being so dialed in, and Dave Ramsey calls it gazelle intense. If you are at 100% intensity, like nothing else is going towards anything else except for your
Mm,
debt. You know what I mean? So
right.
as soon as you have that oh, I'm gonna do this debt, but I can do something else a little bit on the side, then the intensity is not there. And
Right.
it's gonna be a lot, it's gonna take a little bit more time. Don't get me wrong, like
Hmm.
it's still doable, but it's gonna take more time for you to get out of debt if you're putting your money into dates. You know what I mean? Because again, you're for us dudes, we're gonna have to take a woman out to a restaurant and stuff. You can all obviously there's levels to it. You can do like a coffee date and stuff like that. But me personally, like I like nice formal dates. So I'm gonna take a lady out to the restaurant and that's gonna run me at least $50 to like $150. But you have to think about every time that you spend money not on your debt, that's money that you could have used towards your debt, and you're slowing down that whole process. And that's pretty much how my whole debt-free journey was, is ebb and flow. There's months where I was like, okay, every single dollar is going towards the debt. And then there's months where like, dang, I need to relax and have some fun. Let me go out, let me splurge a little bit.
Hmm.
So it was up and down for the last 7 years. And I would say that I was every time I like every time I would spend money on something like that, I always had the debt in the back of my head, like, dang, like I kind of beat myself up for like, dang, I could have put this money towards the debt. But that's something that kind of helped me keep going because I always had it in the back of my head, like, okay, we have to get out of debt. We have to get out of debt. You'd fall off the wagon and then you get back on. So yeah.
Wow, that's really great because I think I'm so glad that like I've been watching the show as religiously as I have, just because
Mhm.
it's been just like I really enjoy watching it and like learning about different cultures. And I mean, the conversations are so, like, for most part, at least the conversations that happen after the show, right?
Mhm.
Like, because your conversation was something that took place outside of the show,
Correct.
and it kind of makes you think about, your own finances. Like, I was just at like the orthodontist the other day, and
Mhm.
she just the orthodontist there what had like a baby, and she had her pictures up, and then she's like, oh, what about you? Are you planning, or anything? And I was like, I'm really focused on, this, my student debt right now. I wouldn't want a child to be born into that,
Mhm.
or even to like go into a relationship with that, like I have a lot of cousins who went to either like optometry school or med school, or schools that you'll acquire a lot of debt from.
Right,
And
right,
so their spouses will, cover just maybe a little bit, because it's coming back to the family essentially.
right.
Like, suppose you met somebody and they had like a lot of debt, like, and you get married to them, or maybe you didn't have this conversation.
Mhm.
Would you help them out in that situation, or would you be like, I would like you to take care of this and then we can revisit?
So here's the thing, right? I listen to the Dave Ramsey show a lot, and my answer to this question might be a little bit biased because of how many times this question has been asked on the Dave Ramsey show. It's a very, very common question on the show.
Wow, I need to
So
be tuning in a little
right.
bit.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the
I'm
show is
sorry.
juicy. It's really good. Sometimes it's emotional. Sometimes there's crazy stories. Sometimes he has to call the police because people are in domestic violence situations. It's not just about money, it's about life. So,
Wow.
but anyways, we're not gonna get off topic. So, to answer your question, and it's pretty much correct me if I'm wrong. If I meet somebody that has a bunch of debt, how am I
Like
gonna
student
handle it?
loans, let's just not, just student, not credit card or mortgage and stuff like that, just
Well,
student.
you kind of have to add all of that up together. Mortgage, we can kind of push to the side, but like credit cards, student loan, all that, because
Yeah.
debt is debt. You know what I mean?
Right, you're
Debt
right,
is
you're
debt.
right.
So if I met someone with a lot of debt, number one, it would cause my senses to kind of start tingling. Because again, if you have a whole bunch of debt, that kind of exudes irresponsibility. Like you're just kind of out of control a little bit, depending on what kind of loans you have. Like if it's student loans, then okay, yeah, like everyone has to use something sometimes. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
There's ways around it, but like yes, I'm I'm a product of student loans. Um, but like credit cards and stuff like just if it's over accumulation and it's constant and it's consistent,
Yeah.
then yes, that's what kind of like makes me like think, okay, how responsible is this person? But if we are getting together and we're serious about a relationship, we're keeping things separate until we get married. If once we get
Mm.
married, we are one. Her debt's mine, my debt's hers. So that's where we kind of come up with a game plan to try and eliminate all of our debt. Not my debt, not her debt, our debt. Because
Oh,
again,
wow.
marriage is a unity. You know what I mean? It's two people coming into one, and we're gonna attack it as a team, and we're gonna get rid of this debt.
Oh,
But
wow. That's
she
very
has to.
generous of you.
It's I guess
I'm
you could say
surprised right
generous.
now because, like, you know, a woman, if you turn it around, I mean, the faith and community and the tradition I come from, and some men of different cultures may not agree, but this is what I have been taught, like in my faith, right? Is
Mm,
like my money is my money and your money is my money. But like the woman's money is her money, but his
mhm,
money is hers.
mhm.
So I
That's
know that when I know some of the white guys, if they see me post something, they'll be like, you know, not agree because I put
Right, right.
polls up and stuff like that. But especially like as far as I'm not saying Indian Muslim men, like everybody is different, right?
Mhm.
Everybody is different, but we're just told we were always taught like you know the man provides, right?
Correct,
And
correct.
you can do your thing on the side, but you know you like he shouldn't really be touching your money, but if you want to give him your money, like no one's gonna say you can't do that, you know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like
right.
because you said it's our money now, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah, exactly. It's and again, going back to me saying that if we're getting serious, I'm not gonna get serious with somebody that doesn't want to better their lives financially. So that's another like deal breaker, I guess you could say for me is if they kind of they're like, oh no, I'll wait till I die, so so the loans will get paid off that way, or like, oh, I'll just pay the minimum payments and stuff. It's like no, that's not gonna cut for me. Like we have to attack this thing so that way our lives can be so much stress free. Like it'll be so much like easier, weight off your shoulders, and again, like, because this is what I'm experiencing now that I don't have any student loans. I don't pay anything to anybody except for rent, utilities, gas, groceries, and then like whatever I want to do in terms of like fun and traveling, vacations and stuff like that. And it's a different flex. It's a
Very
great
liberating.
feeling, relief, liberation. Like I don't have any shackles on my ankles anymore. It's an amazing feeling, and I think that having that feeling, bringing a family into the world, you'll be able to focus more on the family and building a beautiful family as opposed to like, oh, I have to stress and work to pay off these loans and car note and this and that. So yeah, I think it's like if you're not about that and you don't see the vision, then we can't be together. So I
Yeah,
have to
I'm
make sure.
surprised that this didn't come up when you went up. You should have said that. You know, you should have.
It's The show is very
I
it's
know the
surface
balloons
level.
were popping
You know
and
what I
you were
mean?
couldn't
It's
focus.
exactly. It's surface level. And again, we just I just went on a tangent for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. That would have taken up so much time on the show, and I'm just like, it's okay, it's whatever. But again,
It's
this
okay.
is
If you
something.
ever go back, you can mention that, hey, this is where I stand with my finances. I think it'll make you stand out, you know, because
Mhm.
like it's a conversation I think that a lot of us need to have, you know?
Correct, but this is like in my perspective, like having this deep of a conversation goes a little bit deeper into the whole dating process.
Right.
I'm not going to talk about this on the first date, you know what I mean? So like
Right. Right.
as soon as I know that I like this person, then that's when we can start digging into,
Hmm.
all the
Hmm.
specifics and stuff like that. But and again, like just being on the show, it wasn't like we knew each other. It's literally in person Tinder. And so I'm not going to talk about my debt and finances. I'm not putting that in my bio on Tinder. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's kind of how I viewed it. I'm just like, let's just, keep it surface level. If we get a match, we get a match, and then we progress the whole relationship. And then that's when we can start talking about all the serious, deep, important conversations.
But I will say I have, like, when I was on Hinge, there was this guy who had his credit score like from Experian and everything.
He
Like
tried to
people,
flex.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, I think it doesn't have to be so deep. I think
Mm,
it can be like, hey, like, I know there was one guy or girl who asked about credit score once, but like it would be cool if someone mentioned, student debt, or where do you stand as far as finances go,
that's true. That's true. No, you're absolutely right, and you got me thinking. Like, if the conversation comes up on the first date, then yeah, let's talk about it for sure. But if not,
Right.
I mean, I'm kind of a go with the flow kind of person. So I'm just, on first dates, I just like to have fun and enjoy company. So
Right. And like, how, going back to the whole, like, when I asked you, like, should a person who has debt, should they, like, men or women,
mm,
should they not be dating and like be focused on, clearing their debt before they would date? Because for a women's perspective, it's also just as expensive, and they
correct.
have to, and I know you're not a fan of makeup, but it's not cheap. Let me turn on the light real quick.
There's
Hold
a
on.
line. There's a line. That's all I'm gonna say about that for
I
now.
know you're not a
There's a
fan of the
line.
lashes, so, but they're
Hmm.
expensive, Agnel. So it costs a loss for us. So that's why we don't want to pay on the first date, because we're, paying
But
for the makeup.
who influenced women to wear makeup on first dates?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's the
So
media or the
it's like,
movies.
and honestly, I understand, like, you want to look your best
Right.
on the first date, but no one really, especially the person that you're dating, 99.9% of the time, dudes aren't like, make sure you wear makeup, make sure you wear lashes, make sure you wear this. It's not, it's never implied. I mean, you want to look your best, but you don't have to put a whole bunch of makeup on. That's just how I see it. So it's just like, for me, if you come as you are, I will respect you 1000%. Like,
Right.
and I'm not saying I'll disrespect you if you don't, but like, I see it as like, you're very confident in how you look
Right.
without wearing anything. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's how I see it. But yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't
But
sure.
yeah.
We're not putting on lip gloss. I know he doesn't like makeup.
No, lip gloss is cool, little mascara is cool, the little eyeliner is cool, little blush is cool. But if you're taking 3 hours to put makeup on, that's where I have to draw the line. That's too
Right.
much. That's too
Yeah.
much.
Did you receive any, like, messages about the makeup or the hair from the women, or was it just
From I would say from people that I know, from women that I know. They gave like, oh, you have to understand that, we want to look our best and this and that. Like, no girl's not gonna wear makeup on the first date, and this, which I understand. I understand that. But again, like I said, it literally, I just drew a line, because if you pay attention, the first two girls that I was introduced to, they had makeup on too, but I didn't say anything about their makeup. I
right,
just thought they
right,
were very beautiful. But the girl that had too much makeup on, that, to me, that's where I drew the line. I'm like, yeah, this is too much. This is way too much. Like,
right.
there was a difference, you know what I
And she
mean?
was Haitian too, right?
She
Yeah.
was. Shout out to her. Shout
Right.
out to Haitian doll.
Right. And I'm telling you, I have a feeling she's a fan of Jessie Woo.
Oh, for sure, for sure. The
I
Haitian
think maybe all
community
the
is
ladies
strong.
are, but maybe not the men. Because I will say, like, I did. I met another Haitian person not too long ago, and I had to ask him, and he said, she is funny,
Hmm.
and did give her the credit because, like, for some of us who have never met a Haitian person in their lives, like, she's really like kind of educating us in a funny way,
She's a good representative for the Haitian community for sure, for sure. I shout out
right?
to Jessie Wu. She's cool. She's cool, cool.
And I'm so sorry. I'll stick to the
Yeah,
finances,
yeah.
but
Going back to the question
no,
you
because
asked me,
the women, like I said, or okay,
should
we'll
men
say
date?
women, because I feel like when I was going out there, you know what, I will say, I definitely I had my glasses on, I didn't wear makeup, and I still got ghosted.
Yeah.
So I don't know if had I put a little bit more effort. But I remember the guy that I was gonna go see, he said he was a really simple guy. So like I was like, I'm not wasting my time,
Mhm.
Like if he's
Yeah.
not gonna like put in effort, I'm not gonna put in effort. I mean, we just went like on not a hike, but like a really long walk,
Mhm.
It was like 6,000 steps
Right.
of walking,
So you're gonna be
and
sweating.
yeah, I was like, it was like, yeah, we're in Texas, so it's just as
It's
hot as
humid.
Arizona.
It's hot. It's humid. It's
It's humid, yes.
mhm.
So like I mean, he paid for everything, but I'm still trying to watch my nutrition. I don't want to have too many sweets, so I didn't really eat that much, but like it went back to just kind of that quality conversation.
Correct.
And
Correct.
you know what I will say, Agnel, and this relates to us,
Mhm.
is that like he did ask me, he's like, hey, you don't have to answer this, but like, how much do you make a month? Is that a red flag if a guy asks you that?
It's I don't know if it's a red flag, but it's different and it's strange to me. Like
Right.
why again, because I like my mindset is very traditional. So again, like you said, like like the man has the money, which is his money and her money, and then her money is her money. So that's where my head is at, and that's why I'm like, that's kind of interesting.
I mean, I
um
was comfortable. I was like, I'm not really that shy when it comes to these kinds of things. I'm pretty like, open. Like, I mean, I remember telling my girlfriend, and she's from Gambia, and she was really upset that number one he asked, and number two I answered, and
mm,
she said, "Why didn't you ask in reverse? Like, why
right.
didn't you ask him?" And it hit me. I was like, "Why
Yeah.
did I?" Because then you don't want to look like a gold digger. If a
Correct.
girl
Yeah.
asks, then it looks like, "Ooh." I mean, if he's asking,
But
obviously he's not.
he opened the door for that. He literally led you to the open door to ask him how much he makes. Because if you think about it, like just asking anyone in general how much money they make, it's kind of those like, whoa, like money and finances it has a level of privacy to it.
Right.
And so like you're asking that question is invading someone's privacy in a way. That's kind of how I see it. From either it could be a dude, like a random dude that I've met, and he asks, oh, how much you make, if you don't mind me asking. Just, you know what I mean? Like people say, if you don't mind me asking, how much do you make? There's a level of privacy and a barrier that you don't really cross when it comes to asking how much someone makes. So if you're eliminating the whole man and female aspect of it, it's still weird. It's still strange to ask somebody. Um, sorry, hold on one second. Okay, sorry. But yeah, it's still just weird to ask someone how much they make. It doesn't
Right.
matter if it's man or female. So that's why I'm like, that's interesting. Like, why
Yeah,
would you
I mean,
even ask that?
I didn't mind until obviously, like, what was the point of asking me if you were planning on ghosting me anyways?
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you're asking, I'm thinking, oh, is this person, interested in helping uplift me or like,
Mhm.
encourage me or something? Because I'm not expecting like, because some of the men in our culture, like, that I've spoken to, they'll just be like, oh, you don't have to work. You don't have to work.
Right.
And when I hear that, I'm already like, I'm not interested because it's like, I'm not just there's so much more. You have to be attracted, you know?
Right, right,
Like
right, right. They're
providing
leading with
is
that.
yeah,
They're I
providing
get what
is
you're saying.
nice, you know, but like honestly, like there's always some sort of strings attached, you know?
Mm, mhm.
Unfortunately,
That's true. That's true. It
right?
kind of seems like that situation or scenario, I should say, that you just uh painted was like it seems like that person was leading with, "Oh yeah, I make a lot of money, you don't have to work." And that's something that a lot of women like to hear, in my opinion. Like they don't have to work. Working sucks. Working sucks. I'm not gonna lie, but like as a man, I feel like you have to work regardless of anything. And again, going back to traditional roles, like the women doesn't work as much. They kind of stay home and watch the kids and cook and clean and all that stuff, which I think is a freaking job because that's what I do. You know what I
Right.
mean? Just being a single man, like I have to cook my own food. I have to clean. I have to make sure my apartment's good and and I'm working a full-time job and I'm staying in shape and all that stuff. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Right.
But having that financial aspect alleviated, I could understand why women like it so much.
Right.
Um,
Right.
because it's less stress, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, all that to say is it's just weird that he asked that question.
Right. I mean, and the same person was also asking me, like, do you plan on working,
Yeah,
after
it sounds like he
marriage?
wanted you to be a stay-at-home mom.
Uh,
That's what it sounded like.
yeah, I was like, absolutely 100% because I don't want to look lazy, right? And
Mhm.
like just getting a free meal, right? But like, I mean, what? Okay, I have one final question for you because I know you just got a call and you're a busy man.
No, no, no. That was just don't even worry about it.
Okay,
You keep
but I
going.
did say I was. What are your financial expectations of your partner?
It's a good question. As we are dating, we keep things separate. I do my own thing, you do your own thing. Obviously, I'm not pressed to like, oh yeah, we have to split the bill when we go out to eat and this. I'm not pressed for any of that stuff. But again, like I pay my rent, I pay my groceries, you do the same thing. If you have an apartment or whatever, you live with whoever, then keep your money. I keep my money. But again, once marriage comes into play, then that's where we combine finances. If you're working, great. If you're it, I don't it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Like
Right, right,
as long as we can survive off of the income that we both make, then that's fine. I don't expect you to make a bajillion dollars or anything like that. Me personally, I want to be able to provide for my family, so I want to try and get to a point where the finances will be my burden to handle. And if wife wants to work, that's cool. If she doesn't want to work, that's cool. I want to give her that option of, okay, yeah, if you want a job, then that's fine. Go get a job. If you don't want a job and you want to stay home, that's fine too. I just want to alleviate that financial burden of that stress of I have to work to provide for the family. I want to be able to take on that role.
right. I like how you said wife, but not you didn't say girlfriend,
Yeah.
Because I ask this to a lot of men, and also girlfriends too. I
Mhm.
I ask this question a lot to people because I don't know like your religious background or your values, but like
Mhm.
the world I come from, there really isn't like a boyfriend situation where you're living with him before you're
Yeah.
married to him, because I know it's different when you're boyfriend and girlfriend. Like are once I mean everybody's different, but like if you had a girlfriend and she lived with you, are you splitting the rent?
Yeah.
So it's 50-50 once she's a girlfriend.
100%.
Okay, cool, cool.
That's how
Okay.
I see it. That's
Yeah,
how
because
I see it.
like because not everybody wants to do the girlfriend thing and live with their partner. I know
Mhm.
it's very common, even I think in like people that I've met who aren't necessarily Indian or Muslim. Like I knew a girl in Chicago and she was Christian and she was African. American, I believe, and
Mhm.
I just assumed she lived with her boyfriend, and I was like, "Oh, do you live with him?" And she's like, "No, absolutely not,"
Right.
because like I think she wanted to, move in with, her husband.
Correct. Correct.
So
Yeah, it's just for me it's like if we're dating and stuff, we keep things separate because if push comes to shove and the relationship ends, then we're not having that whole burden of like, dang, like I paid for everything for this girl or I paid for everything for this guy. You know what I mean?
right,
Like it's just we don't have to have that problem. You know what I mean? We keep
right,
things separate and we move forward from that. So it's there's no leverage. You know what I mean?
right,
There's no um imbalance with that. So
right. Does your family or you? Because you said you have a bunch of sisters, right?
I got two sisters, two brothers.
Okay, and in your family, like, is it common to live with your partner before they become your spouse?
I wouldn't say live. I haven't seen living together in my family a lot. But the like my brother's girlfriend was frequently there. You know what I mean? At his house. And same for my sisters. The boyfriends were frequently there at their houses. So, but in terms of like he lives here, I didn't see it much. I didn't see it much.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. That's interesting because I think because you did mention you wanted someone who was like family oriented, right?
Hmm.
And like you didn't really mention religion though, right?
No, but there is an aspect of religion. Like I grew up Christian Baptist and kind of fell off the wagon with that as I was growing up, but now I'm leaning towards getting back into Christianity for sure. So definitely that conversation will be had with my future girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah, like spouse, partner,
Right,
right?
right. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because I think it's like that world is something that I can't really, relate to. I
Hmm.
mean, my brother, he has a fiance and like we've met her family and she's met our family and then, they hang out, she comes here, we see her. I mean, she's in like an hour and a half away from us
Hmm.
and he's here in Austin. So like we see her often,
Right, right.
but um like we're still waiting for them to get married to finally live together
Yeah. So
because
you
that's
guys
just
are you're keeping things separate. That's the Muslim um uh lifestyle pretty much is
very common, but of course everybody's different. There's
yeah,
different flavors, different practices,
for sure.
different comfortability. And like, Indian people, like for example, Muslim or Hindu, they do practice arranged marriage a lot.
Mm,
I'm sure you
yeah.
might have heard of that or
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I grew up in Jersey. I had friends from Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, and Muslim. You know what I mean? Like
oh, that's so cool.
Hindu, all that. Yeah, I'm very well rounded when it comes to culture. I know a lot about different cultures, so it's pretty
Oh,
cool. And I'm
that's
glad I grew up where I grew up because I have friends from all over Nigeria, Pakistan, all over the world, like all
right.
over different cultures, different practices and stuff. So
Have you ever been to Haiti?
I have not. I wish I have.
Oh, well, now's your chance now that you're debt free.
It's yeah, but the country's in shambles right now,
Right, right, right. You
unfortunately.
have to be careful.
So
Yes.
exactly, and everyone that I've asked, like my family, people that I actually went to the Dominican Republic a couple years ago, and we got the opportunity to do some dentistry on some of the Haitian refugees that live there,
Wow.
and I asked them, I'm like, I've been dying to go. Like, is it okay to go? They're like, they all were like, no, don't go. There's a lot of violence, there's a lot of robberies, there's a lot of shootings, there's a lot of kidnapping. And
Oh,
so I'm gonna go with what the locals tell me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
be
So
safe, be safe. I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
it's just I'm just it's unfortunate because I can
Yeah,
literally
especially right
go
now. Yeah.
next month. I'd love to go. You know what I mean? But it's not safe right now. So it is
But
what
yeah,
it
I
is.
mean, that's so amazing that you got to like work with the refugees from
Hmm.
Haiti and Dominican Republic. That's a amazing experience.
Yeah, it's cool. It was cool. We did a bunch of extractions on a lot of people, and it was a good time. It was a good time.
Oh, wow,
Very
that's
good time. Yeah.
fascinating. Yeah, well, it says we've been live for 40 minutes. I mean, and
If
I
you
know
got
you're
more
really busy.
questions, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would love to do a part two because I'm having a great time.
Yeah, this is cool. This is cool.
Right. I feel like, I mean, you are so wise beyond your years. I
Oh,
really
thank you.
wish that we got to see this side of you on the, I know we had like 10 seconds, but like the outfit and the glasses, just I think threw them off, because
Yeah.
whenever well, even me with my glasses, I've recently started embracing them. I mean, I do have
Mm,
my contacts, for the special occasions,
right.
but were those prescription that you wore?
No, they were
Oh
strictly fashion.
no. No.
Strictly fashion.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that's just something I got critiqued on too. Like, what are these glasses? Why'd you wear those
Because
glasses?
like there was a girl, I don't know if you remember, it was way back like a few episodes ago. She was like the only girl I remember who like, walked in with glasses.
Mm,
And I thought it was super cool. And then she actually did match with somebody.
mm,
Or I don't know if she was in the lineup with glasses, but like that's very rare that you
yeah,
see a girl with glasses, especially
correct.
in the world of, false lashes. It's really hard because
Correct.
they
Right,
will
right.
hit the glasses. So whenever I get glasses, I make sure that they won't
They
interfere with my
extend out a
lashes,
little bit. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
that
because
makes
that
sense.
is that is something important to me. But you're right. I definitely do it for myself more than like for for my person.
Hmm. Hmm. That's
So
interesting that you even brought that whole I just put two and two together in terms of the lashes and glasses. So that's probably why a lot of women have contacts more nowadays because they want the lashes to show. Because every
right,
I've seen like like little lines and smears on the glasses on the inside of the glasses, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's probably the mascara or the whatever. You know what I mean?
right,
So extended lashes and stuff, but I didn't put two and two together. I didn't put two and two together until you
right.
just did. So that's interesting. I'm glad you
Right.
brought
I
that up.
I feel like I really hope that you either are in the lineup or you walk out, you know, again and that we see you returning.
Oh yeah, I did. I did return. I did.
When?
So this was 2 days ago. I was back on the show.
So is it coming out tomorrow basically?
No, it's coming out. They told me in 2 weeks it's coming out.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
congratulations.
So that
That's
that whole reel
awesome.
that you just seen, that was me 2 days ago.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm surprised they let you post it.
Yeah, it's I think it was just like after the shooting and stuff. That's pretty much it.
Right.
But
And
again, like they told me was like not to let anyone know how the show was run. So
right, right. I mean, I'm just happy that you are getting a second chance. I feel like
yeah,
I'm sure you were definitely a favorite for many,
right,
and you stood out and like you were definitely not saying anything that we haven't heard before in regards of like the makeup at least and the lashes.
correct.
I mean, it
Yeah.
kind of comes up almost every episode now,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
right?
I might have started the trend on it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
But I think it's something that men don't want to they don't want to talk about. They don't want to say that they don't like it because I think we would get a lot of pushback from the female community or people who
Right.
wear makeup and stuff like that. We'd get a lot of pushback, so we just kind of just keep our mouth shut. Not me. I'll say it.
No,
I'll
I
say it.
appreciate your commentary and like I said, I definitely I noticed my journey with makeup and lashes and all of that is that I noticed I was like getting ready for the girls more than like any of the guys.
Mm,
Cause like I was like briefly on Hinge for like a moment, and like anytime I had pictures with no makeup, I was getting way more matches. And so I was shocked because I mean, like, I am working on my weight right now. Like, I'm on a journey in regards to that. I'm
Good for you.
trying to cut back. And so, like, I kind of came back just a little bit bigger and, like, natural. And it was just amazing how I thought it would not get me as much when I was skinnier, and like maybe like I wasn't covering my hair back in the day either,
Mhm.
because I know hair is a big thing for some of the guys. They're like, oh, it's a big thing for me.
Right.
So it's like it was really interesting how my experience, not showing my hair, being overweight and having glasses on was
Mhm.
getting more likes than in the past.
I think it shows modesty. I think
Right.
because again, there's there's a lot of there's a lot of women on these dating apps that show it all. They show
Mhm.
it all. And for us men, it's cool when it comes to, ooh, I kind of want to have sex with her. I'm gonna
Mhm.
keep it honest. But if we see modesty, you're covering up everything. You're displaying yourself in a very self-respecting way. I'm not saying that it isn't self-respecting if you reveal much, but like it comes off as like, okay, you want to cover up, you know what I mean? You want to cover up pretty much. If you're showing that, then at least to me, it piques my interest. It piques my interest. So it
Right,
goes
right.
deeper than just covering up. It's like it's behavior is a language, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it speaks to me when they're covered up and they do, it's a nice picture with a nice background. You got a great smile, you got a great looking face, and you're covering up, and you're not turning around showing your ass cheeks or a lot of cleavage is hanging out. All that means is that you want a man to do the dirty with you. That's how I interpret it, at least.
Mm.
And it's
Yeah,
it's
I
just
mean, I
attention
think
for
it's good to
attention.
know like the other perspective,
Mm-hmm.
because we're just like if I remember, I'm gonna share this meme with you on Instagram, or maybe I could pull it up on my phone. I don't know if I have it. Oh, it's good. But it's basically like a bunch of all of us basically giving each other advice when we're all just blind. Like we
Right.
don't know where we're going, but we're giving each other advice, and all of us are like obviously have been like successful
Mm-hmm.
in as far as like having a successful, happy, healthy relationship, like
Right.
with the partner, a loving partner, understanding, patient, all of the above, loyal. And so I think for me, it's been really important for me to kind of just hear the perspective from the other side, like
Yeah.
in an objective way.
Correct. And that's why I seen the comments that were under the video, and I took them in. You know what I mean? The good, the bad, the ugly.
Right.
I took it all in, and so that's why I dressed up very nicely. The second time around, excuse me, because everyone was saying that, like, why did you dress that way? There's people that were reacting to my video, burn those jeans, don't, get rid of them, this and that, cut your hair. Buster Rhymes cut his hair, maybe you should too. Like, I was listening to all of the comments,
Oh
and I
my
took it in. I
God.
took it in because I'm not a dating expert at all, which is why I wanted to go on the show, to get more experience
Right.
in dating and stuff like that. So, and I'm just listening to the feedback. And even one of
Yeah,
my
this is,
friends,
I don't know if you could see this. Hold on. Maybe hold on, back up. It's a little too bright. Hold on.
yeah, the brightness is
I
off.
don't, I mean, I think it's different during the day, but I'll send it to you so you can check it out. I mean, it's so funny, but I mean, just saying advice, and it's just like really funny because we're just hearing each other, but we don't know what it's like on the other side?
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for you. Okay, you just sent it to me. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Especially if you don't, if like, so I'm not opposed to it. If if you're an expert and you have experience in whatever topic you're gonna give advice on, that's cool. But when it comes to dating, and successful dating, I'm going to look at people that are successful in the dating pool. In terms of marriage, I'm going to look at people that have had 15, 20, 30-year marriages, as opposed to someone who got divorced or someone who can't hold on to a relationship. You know what I mean? So
Right.
so I think there's levels to that meme that you sent me. You know what I mean? Is there's levels to it. But yeah, that's just how I see it. I don't know.
Right, right. I'm so excited that we get to see you back on the screen.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. Stay
Right, you said
tuned for
2
that.
weeks, right?
Yeah, they said 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like I said, I watch every upload, even the BM talks to them, all of
Yeah.
it. Like, I'm not, I'm not African or African American or Caribbean, but I still was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put in my application,
Mm,
because you
yeah.
never know. Because I feel like I'm kind of like ambiguous, like I
Right.
could, like when I used to work at Sephora and I had my hair and everything, like there was this Nigerian girl there, and like I don't know, maybe just like all the white people were just thinking we were both the same person. They would always
Mhm.
call her my name and me her name,
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, she's Nigerian, I'm Indian. Like,
Right.
there's definitely a difference, but to them, they were like, oh my God, I always confuse the two of you.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, I understand that for sure. That makes sense.
Right. But I also respect that it's exclusive, like, for African and African Americans.
Mhm.
Is that something that is that the only ethnic group that you are open to?
No. No.
Yeah.
Um that's my preference.
But
African
I'm
American
so
women are
happy
my
to hear
preference.
that.
But
And Jesse would be so proud of you too.
right, it's definitely my preference. Like that's my go-to. Um but I'm definitely open to dating other ethnicities, cultures, stuff like that. I'm open to it.
Right. I mean,
Now I am.
yeah, no,
Before
I
it
think
was just strict, you know what I mean? But now it's like, oh, I'm open. I've had phases where I'm like, oh, okay, I like white girls, and then like, oh, okay, I'm only dating black women, and then now I'm just like, you know what? Whoever likes me, you know what I mean? I'm cool
right,
with it, and she's cool, and you know what I mean. That's
right,
I'm
right.
just cool with it. I find her attractive, and she's checking all the boxes. Great.
Yeah, I was having dinner with two of my brown girlfriends. One from was Bangladesh and the other one was Pakistan, and they both married like white guys.
Mm,
And this show, oh my God, I love this show so much. But like when I was explaining to my friends, I was like, let's just say they're not providers, you know?
okay.
In the nicest way, like to not
Okay.
disrespect their spouses, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
they're definitely not providing, and
Okay.
they're not providers. And so, when they were asking me about my journey and, what's it like, in the search and the hunt, and, now that, I feel like I watch your segment and you talking about debt, it really got me like you said, 1,000% focused or something. You used a word, like 1,000% focused or
Hello.
yes.
Okay, cool. Sorry, my mic got unplugged. I
Oh
started.
no.
All right, keep going. I'm sorry.
Um, you know how
They're
you
not
said,
providers. Yes.
yeah, they're not providers, right?
Mhm.
And it's not a secret. Like whenever I have dinner or lunch with these girls, it's always like the same story. How
Oh shoot.
it's just like they're just taking care of them for the most
Wow.
part, and I'm just
Yikes.
like, I don't want that for myself,
Right.
So
But
I'm not rushing. I'm not rushing, to
that's the risk with relationships. Like you have to take a risk because this person that you may be marrying might be this person now, and then 5 years, 10 years down the road, he might switch up into somebody different.
well,
So
without saying any names or any ethnicities,
yeah.
one of them that chose, the spouse that she chose, I mean, it's been like this since day one.
Oh, so then
There's
that's
been
on her.
there's been no progression, there's been no progress. I mean, her parent will like vent to me like, this guy is so stupid. Like, I don't know why
Yikes.
she picked him.
Right, right, right. Yeah,
Cause like
that's
I feel bad for her, and like we both of us, like the other girl who's in somewhat of a better situation,
mhm.
was just like he needs to step up.
Yeah.
Cause there's like
Dang.
children involved right now, unfortunately. And I'm just like,
Damn.
this is so crazy. Cause like, in our culture, right? Like we're from the world of arranged marriages, we're from the world of like six children's at least, like at least everybody has three kids, at least three kids.
Mhm.
And it's just, if the idea of someone not wanting children is just like unfathomable, like they just cannot understand. And like someone who might be, thinking about working on their student debt. But like I will say, that I mean, like I am someone who has gone through some experience in the past with like someone who, like, I mean, this person did pass away, so I want to like respect their, like respect the dead. Like we respected Kevin Samuels, right?
Correct,
We didn't
correct.
say anything negative about people who are no longer. Like we just, that's just not how we are.
Yeah.
But I just remember just being in this partnership with somebody who, we were going out to buy a car, and it was like, okay, let's do a joint, what is it, credit check.
Right, right.
And I had never at that point ever gone to like buy a car before, right?
Mhm.
And so when they combined the numbers, it was like the loan was coming up super high, right? Because my student debt and my credit score was just like
It
not
wasn't
that
great.
great. And
Yeah.
it was just like, we never had this conversation until we're out here buying a car together,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
And I just remember feeling like so embarrassed, and how like it
Right,
didn't come up. I just was like walking into this blindly. I mean,
right,
eventually he was like the sole person who they went off of his credit score, and
right.
then like
You guys
something
were
like,
able to get the car.
we got the car, and then in the end I got the car because I
Nice.
deserved it.
Right, right.
Because I was like, I gave so much, like, and I asked for nothing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like in the end, I asked for nothing when I walked away. So I feel like God gave me that car.
There we go. There we
And it
go.
was like, it was under like ownership under both of our names.
Mhm.
And so like I was like, wow, like, you just said men just, they just make more. They make more. Like even if we kind of had the same positions, like I think statistically and research even shows like men make like 80 cents more than a woman does. Like I guess in like as far as like higher careers go, not like minimum wage, but like a female lawyer versus a male lawyer, or a female doctor versus a male doctor. Like they make more than women do even in this country.
So this is kind of stemming into the gender wage gap. I will add to what you're saying.
Hmm.
Um, Men do make more than women, but it's because we work more. We work harder.
Because you don't get pregnant.
Well, there you have it.
I mean,
There
you're
you have it.
not like, breastfeeding and like pumping
There's
at
yeah,
work,
there's
you
a
know?
lot more
So
stay-at-home moms than stay-at-home dads. There's the whole pregnancy aspect. Like how many women want to go back to work after they have a kid? You know what I mean?
they
Like
don't have a choice. They have
yeah,
to.
yeah. So for the most part they have to, but do they want to? And if they
Right,
had
right,
that option of like, "Oh, I want to stay home and watch the kid," if they had the option, I feel like 80% of the time they're going to take that option, which means you're not working as much as the man is. So that's
right,
why I feel like there's that gap. And it's because we work harder and we work more and we work
right,
longer hours and there's a lot more dudes in like construction and engineering and all these high paying jobs and stuff like that. So I think that's where that whole discrepancy comes from. It's just we just
right,
work harder. We're wired to work. You know what I mean?
right.
That's just is biology when you come down to it. So, but yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I just wanted to make that clear. I just wanted
Yeah,
to
I
make
feel like
it
I mean I get where you're coming from, because like the partnership that I was just talking about, right? Like this person made significantly more, right?
clear.
And even then, I was just like a simple girl, you know. I didn't ask for anything. I'm not like materialistic or whatever, not into the brands, anything like that. I was always this really simple girl. And I remember like one time, like we were with another couple, right? And then the guys were sitting in the front, the girls were sitting in the back. And I just remember him kind of like telling his friend about my student debt, you know? And I was so mad. I was so livid. I was like, we're
Mm,
supposed to protect each other, you know?
right.
Like, you can't be putting that out there for your friend and, like, you know, making me look bad, number one, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, like, it is my responsibility, and I wasn't wise about it then or even now, but I mean, I guess a little bit, just a little bit not as dumb, you know, when it
Right.
comes to finances, you know?
Right.
But I was like, I wish I had those conversations earlier, you
Yeah.
know?
For sure. I mean, the earlier the better. So going back to um talking about it early on in the relationship, we just had that conversation early on in our live stream. I'm starting to think like maybe I should just bring it up, you know what I mean? And just talk about it early on, maybe first or second date or something like that, just so
I
we
think it
can
would
save time.
inspire people. I think it might inspire your partner. Like, you
Hmm.
can just start off saying, "Hey, look, I'm debt free and I just got here, you know?
Right.
I would love for you to experience that too."
Right. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a full fledged like whole map out of how my finances are run or anything like that. But I love how you worded that. It was I would like for you to experience what I'm experiencing right now.
Right,
That's a beautiful way
exactly.
of putting it. That's a nice way
Right.
of putting it.
Yeah. So now it's saying 1 hour, Agna, and like I
Yeah.
said, we can totally do a part two.
Okay.
After maybe maybe I don't know if you'll be reachable after you go viral in 2 weeks, you know?
We'll see. We'll see. But honestly, I enjoyed this conversation and I'm very flexible at times. So don't hesitate. I'm not a celebrity or anything like that. I'm just a
Not
regular dude.
yet,
You know
Agnel.
what I
It's
mean?
coming though.
And even if I were a celebrity, like I'd still have conversations like this, you know.
Right.
So it's not I'm just a regular person. That's how I see it, you know. So I'd be more than happy to have a part two or anything like that with you. So just let me
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Reach out to me.
you can message me or I'll message you because
Mhm.
I mean, these girls are about to not recognize you.
Yeah, yeah. So stay
Right?
tuned for the episode. I'm not gonna spoil
No,
it
no,
for
we don't have to
anybody.
yet. But I'm
Right.
just saying with what you posted, I mean, they're like, I can barely recognize you right now, you know?
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
mean, I cannot believe those glasses were not prescription.
Yeah, it's definitely just wanted to try something different. And I like them. I think they look great on me, but I'm like, mm,
Yeah,
let me
this
just
is
try.
someone who wears prescription glasses on the daily, but on weddings and stuff like that, I'll wear my contacts. But even then, like, you'll notice me kind of wear the false lashes and the full face with the glasses, actually, you know?
Right,
Just in the
right.
recent months, I'm just embracing the glasses and making them
Mm,
part of the thing, you know?
yep. I see you. I hear you for sure. But yeah, it's just I just wanted to. I always thought I looked good in glasses because I just mess around and wear my sister's glasses. Not wear them, but like I put them on. Like, oh, let me see your glasses. Oh, you're so blind. This, that. But then I look at myself. I'm like, oh, these I could rock some glasses and stuff.
Right.
So that's where
Because
I kind of.
someone did compliment your skin, remember?
Yep.
Even
Shout
through the
out to her.
glasses, they were like,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
she's
So
super cool. I follow her and she follows me too.
she's nice. She was a very nice girl. So yeah,
Yes, yes.
Kia was her name. So shout out to
Yeah,
her.
she was in Houston. I was like, I'm in Austin. So I said
Mm,
you should like stop by, you know? Because she's
mhm.
never been. Have you ever been to Texas or
I've been
Austin?
to Grapevine and Dallas.
Dallas?
Yeah,
Dallas, yeah.
yeah. That's the
Yeah,
only time I've been.
similar temperature, you know?
It's humid, hot and humid. Oof, it's
Right.
rough, but yeah, it's cool. I like Texas. I had a good time in Texas.
Okay, well, I guess we should wrap this up.
Alrighty, my friend. Well,
Yes, and
thank
you
you for
stay in
having me.
touch even after you become famous.
For sure, I will do. No problem.
Okay, let me make sure I'm ending this correctly,
Hmm.
and I will publish it and I will add your information because I know
Cool.
your Instagram and everything. If it doesn't let me add in the description, I'll add it to the comments.
Let me do it right now. Hang on.
Sure, go ahead.
There. Oh, it said that it failed to post. That's weird.
Is
But
it because it's still going live? Maybe do
I
I have
don't
to
think
end it?
so. I don't think so. It's supposed to be able to post because I've done it before.
Okay, I could
Let me
try,
try
like
one
I
more
said,
time.
ending it, and then I'll message you.
Okay, there we go. There it
Oh,
is.
there's
You
this is
see
in the
it?
comments, right?
Right. So it should pop up in the comments after you post the video.
Okay, and then could you do your YouTube as well, so then I can pin them?
Yeah. I'm gonna do that right now. Hang on.
This is funny. On my phone, it's saying I'm live right now with you.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
Right, this is a lot of learning.
It's crazy. So yeah, there you go. We'll put both of them up there.
Okay,
And
and then once I end it, I'll go ahead and pin them so people can know where to find you.
cool. Sounds good.
Alrighty, it was lovely chatting with you. We'll see you next time.
Likewise, you take it easy. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.